Hello everybody, and sorry if I feel a bit off today, but I'm Buff Bin Stuffed. We're going to talk about Survivor Series 2014, and what do I have to say and what do I have to feel about this? Coming into the show, there was a lot of discussion amongst us all. This wasn't a show that I was looking forward to. This wasn't a show I was particularly excited for. I wasn't very hyped up for it. It was a show that, maybe when I catch it in a couple of minutes, I'll give it a quick look and then I'll get on with something else. Then on the weekend, rumours started circulating that apparently a certain someone was going to appear on the show, and of course we all know who that is by now, Sting. And that kind of made me go, okay, I think I will check out the last couple of minutes of the show. So I'm kind of going off what everyone said leading into it and all the matches before it. From what I understand, Nikki Bella won the women's title of Divas belt. I got told it was a pretty quick match. Brie kissed AJ, which really does nothing for me, to be honest with you, for a number of reasons. Number one, I'm not 16 anymore. Number two, my girlfriend saw this, she'd kick my fucking head in. So, yeah, there we go. What else did we have? We had that match. We had Damien Mizdow and The Miz winning the belts, which is quite a good idea. I still think they need to build up a tag team division, but I'm happy that those two have won. That's good, and I like the two of them, and I like Damien Sandow. He's Mr. Entertainment for me. What else did we have happen on there that I can remember or that I know of? Adam Rose wrestled, but who really cares about that? I can't remember what else there was, to be honest with you. But we'll go to the Team Authority Team Cena match. Now, if you saw my previous video, you had Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose. That was the other thing. I wasn't too blown away by that, to be honest with you. It was not a bad match or anything. It's just that feud has really been missing a lot of things for me, especially the material. It's like, let's say weird things for the sake of being weird rather than tell a story. I think too many people are, what's the word I'm looking for? You get your IWC favourites, if you want to use that term, and when you match them up together, people just go, ah! But they don't actually, are they really looking at this in a certain way? It depends. Is that getting in the way of what's actually going on? But we skip now to Team Authority versus Team Cena. I was very intrigued with those rumours, how that would all play in, and if those rumours were true. Anyways, the match happens. The lineup didn't really blow me away. It's not like I have anything against all of the people, but you had to look at where everybody was. Mark Henry doesn't have the same kind of heat or momentum that he had, so that was something. Big Show has turned face, turned bad, turned face, turned bad so many times now that it's just, it doesn't have the same impact for me anymore. I do like Show enough, but it's just like, when he turns, it needs to be impactful. When he's done it so many times in the space of the last 18 months or something, or you've just seen him turn so many times, it doesn't have the same impact for me. So you had Big Show in Team Cena. You had Cena. Who did you have? Cena, Show, Ziggler, Ryback, and I can't remember who the other person was at the top of my head. But you had those two teams. In terms of the action was great. Eric Rowan. Sorry. The action was great. Some little notes that I liked. I loved the bit when you had Rowan tag himself in the ring and Luke Harper, and they kind of built up this, anticipation to see these two go at it, two former teammates. And then I like how Harper walks back, Rollins tags himself in. That was quite a heelish thing. Seth Rollins as a heel actually is really coming along a lot better than I give him credit for. Sorry, a bit distracted. I thought I saw one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Seth Rollins, though, as a heel, he's really coming along quite well, and he's becoming more and more heelish, and I like that. I like seeing that. I hate when a guy turns heel and they do all the same things they did when they were a babyface, because it doesn't really give you any reason to hate them. You need disastrously slimy mannerisms when you're a heel, or things that separate you from what you were before. Anyways, we go into the match. Rusev was in that match too. From how I remember it, Show eliminated Henry very quickly. Then oh goodness, I can't remember who got eliminated from who, and I just seen this a couple minutes ago. But the main bits were that Rusev dived off the other table, went through the table, eliminated himself by count out. So Ziggler kind of stayed in. I know that Rowan got eliminated, I think, by Seth. I liked what they did with Ryback in a sense that it took two big moves to take him out. Rowan got eliminated by a drive-by, and then I can't remember what else he got hit with. Then you had Ziggler, Cena, and Show, and then you had those guys. And Show turned on Team Cena, shook hands with Hunter for job security. And to be honest with you, it added a bit of drama to the match in one way. But to me, again, as I just touched on before, when you see Big Show do this so many times, it doesn't do anything. As it doesn't have the impact you would think. It may have been best served if it was somebody else who did it, but you know, it's Big Show's going to turn face again in 6 months, and then what's going to happen? And then he's going to turn heel, and he's going to be face. It's going to go back and forth with him. Then we had Cena eliminated. Show walks out, and it's Ziggler. And I'm going to say this: it was actually a good thing to see that spotlight on Dolph for a change, because I find with the way he wrestles, the way he sells, the way he bumps around, he can actually evoke sympathy from the audience. And I think that the Never Give Up moniker kind of could have been passed on to him in a way, because he was, you know, it reminded me a lot of Shawn Michaels in Survivor Series 2003, Team Bischoff versus Team Austin. However, the result was a bit different. Ziggler eliminates Kane, which was pretty cool, and he eliminates Luke Harper full roll up, and then it's just him and Seth. And him and Seth have great chemistry. They're fantastic athletes. They are real go-getters. They really, really want to go for it. And they were going for it, and it was nice to see the outside interference from, you know, Hunter, Noble, Mercury, who it took me a while to recognise, and Stephanie, all the interference and going on. And then when Dolph got that near fall, Hunter stops the count more than once. Then the next time he just starts laying into Ziggler, hits him with a pedigree, puts him on the floor, gets Seth over. And then the one thing that I think most of us have been waiting for, and someone like me has been waiting for, from the age of, God, let's go back to when I was 6, because my first ever favourite professional wrestler, the first wrestler I ever became a fan of, was Sting. And how that happened was quite simple. Kid came into school with a Sting action figure, and I was very intrigued by it. I probably still got it actually in my thing. I didn't nick it off him, by the way. And then the Argos catalogue came out that month, and there's the same action figure, and then I realised this was linked to WCW, and Sting was my favourite wrestler for a very, very long time as a child. One of my childhood heroes in WCW. I had the action figure, you know, where he's standing like that with the blonde hair, and the face paint and the black trousers, yellow boots, and the Scorpion logo down there. And then I had another one with blue trousers and black boots, and the blonde hair. I was a huge Sting fan for a very, very long time, and I always felt there were very few things now in modern day pro wrestling that actually mean something, and one of those few things was Undertaker losing at WrestleMania, and another one of those few things would be the day that we see Sting show up in WWE, because that truly would mean something. That truly has significance. It's the one star in pro wrestling never created by Vince McMahon, never ever created by Vince McMahon, who finally shows up in the promotion, the biggest promotion in the world. That really does have value, and I know there were so many times we thought we would see it back in the day. I remember in the late 90s we thought we would see it. When WCW was bought out in 2001, people thought we would see it. There was rumours in 2003 that he might show up, 2004 that he might show up. There was always these rumours that Sting would show up. And then they started picking up again in 2011 with the whole Undertaker return thing. Again, people were very, very hyped up for that appearance. And as time went by, you know, he was doing more stuff with TNA. And then he leaves TNA. And then we see that he's doing some things with WWE. He appeared on the Ultimate Warrior documentary, which was really cool. He started appearing on some other WWE network documentary stuff. That would be the only reference you get to that channel, by the way, from me. And then you saw, what else did you see? Yeah, he did the Comic-Con appearance, and then the video game, which really got people excited for Sting being there. So you can just tell by the anticipation, by the excitement, by the way people were talking left and right about this, that there was definitely money and interest and something there when he eventually appears. Now, the table wasn't set in the way I would like. The Authority thing hasn't been the most intriguing storyline. I think they kind of let themselves down after a while. I don't think that Raw has been the best it could be in the last, I want to say, 8 weeks. It's kind of been a bit to me. So, it wasn't like there was lots of momentum on Raw and then this was the icing on the cake. I think this is the beginning of momentum and then the icing on the cake will come eventually. And Sting appearing on the show, coming out, I'll be honest, I didn't really like the music very much myself. I wanted the old, I won't even try and do it now. The traditional Sting song that we know. He came out, had a stare down with Triple H, death drop, big pop, puts Dolph over Rollins, and Team Cena win, and Team Authority is no more. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they use a loophole like Seth's foot was under the ropes. If it happens, you heard it from me first. But it was a very good ending and something that was a shot in the arm to a show that wasn't really that exciting at first, especially on paper. And the appearance of Sting definitely has got the whole world talking because it is very, very meaningful. And what do I think, what do I feel, and what do I fear? Give me 1 second because I need my tea for this one. You always need tea when you're shooting a video. Right. I'm excited to see Sting. Very excited. It means a lot. I can't wait to see him interact with WWE performers. This actually gives Raw a hook today, as opposed to other weeks. I'm actually intrigued to see what's going to happen on Raw with him. I really hope they kind of dissolve this Team Authority thing and move on to something new now, and start with something new. And with Sting there, that could be quite interesting. It looks like we're going to get Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania, or maybe Sting versus Undertaker as well. I don't know. What my fears are, though, is as a long-term wrestling fan, and I know that everybody who watches this, I know everyone who watches this will have the same fear that I have, and that is this. We have seen our favourite wrestlers who've never been in the WWE come over. We have seen Goldberg, we have seen Booker T, we have seen Diamond Dallas Page, we have seen lots of people, Dusty Rhodes being another one, we have seen Ric Flair to an extent. We've seen a lot of these guys come over to the WWF or the WWE, even the WCW Invasion angle. We've seen guys from ECW come over, and it's almost like the WWE are trying to prove a point that, you may have been something somewhere else, but you're nothing here, and we're going to expose whatever flaws we think that you have, and, then we'll rebuild you in our image. And I've seen them do that with so many people. When they brought Goldberg in, Goldberg really wasn't used in the way that he should have been. Yeah, Goldberg isn't a technical marvel. He's not Steve Austin in the ring. He's not The Rock in the ring. He wasn't Triple H in the ring at that time. He wasn't Kurt Angle or Brock Lesnar. But there's a formula there, and if you don't fiddle around with it, you can make a lot of money. And what they decided to do was poke fun at that formula. And they did it in their promos, I remember, and expose and make him look bad. I've seen them do this with Booker T a little bit to an extent. I remember them doing this with Chris Jericho, and he wasn't like a big star in WCW. But when he came over, they were trying to expose all his holes and all his flaws and then rebuild him. And I don't think in this day and age that is necessary to do with Sting. Sting isn't, in his 30s anymore, his early 20s anymore. He's not that kind of athlete anymore. But he's a very, very special performer, and he means a lot to a lot of fans. And if they start doing that same old crap that they do when they bring in somebody else in, and then they start trying to expose all their flaws. Look, we've even seen them do it to someone like Daniel Bryan, who's not as big a star as Sting was throughout the history of pro wrestling, but time, still got time. But someone like Daniel Bryan, who was brought in and was made to look, silly at times, and was given some kind of albatross cross to kind of walk around with, either being too small, too bland, too boring, not big enough, all of those things. We've even seen them do it with Caval. So there's always this fear when a guy from somewhere else comes in that they're going to do that, and I actually hope to God that they avoid doing that. I really, really, really do, because listen, you want to make money. Your WrestleMania season is starting really now, and you want to build to WrestleMania, and it's time that you actually, don't do that. Like, have a safe plan with him, because I believe he's going into the Hall of Fame apparently as well, possibly. So don't, fuck it up and then be like, oh, well, look, find little sly ways to be like, oh, he's too old, oh, look, he can't do this, no, don't highlight the holes and the weaknesses. Just exaggerate, accentuate the strengths and the positives, and you should be doing really, really well. Definitely excited to see what happens. I hope that they give Dolph a renewed push, by the way, on top of this. I hope that they continue to do more with him now, because he was the guy that was the sole survivor. I wouldn't mind seeing Sting endorse him, funnily enough. Endorse him. That would be really, really cool to see. Who would I like to see Sting in there with? Probably he'll do something with Cena. We know he's going to do something with Triple H, and probably The Undertaker, and I think that would be really, really, really cool. You've got him for a few months, why not make the most of it? I know people want to see him and Bray Wyatt. Yeah, I mean, that could be interesting, yeah. So long as they can actually work on Wyatt's promos and not make him say crazy stuff, and actually tell a story when he talks now. If they do that, then that could work. I don't know who else I could see him in there with, to be honest with you. Multiple person matches as well I could see him doing. But as a fan, this is truly and genuinely exciting. I do have my fears. About what they could do with him. Anyways, anything else I need to say? No, not really. Oh, that Roman Reigns promo. Oh, God, what was that? What on earth was that? I'm gonna wrap my fist up and I'm going to ball it up and make it rain. God, who writes his stuff? I'm going to have to do a video on that guy eventually, because I'll tell you what, if he's going in there with Brock Lesnar, we've got work to do. Let's just say that. Anyways, I'm going to stop. I'm going to upload this. You let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of Survivor Series. Let me know how you felt about it coming in. Let me know how you feel about it during the show was going on. And let me know how you feel about it now. Did Sting practically save that show? In a lot of people's opinions, and including mine, I would say he definitely made me a lot more interested in that show. Do you have fears about what's going to be happening on Raw tomorrow? How is Sting going to be used in the future? Is he going to be used like other WCW wrestlers and other ECW wrestlers? Is he going to be used in that same way, or are they going to use him properly? Because you can't afford to do that with the limited amount of time that you have with him. How do you think he's going to be used? How do you think he's going to be utilised? Is he going to be the Raw GM? What do you think is going to happen with the rest of the ex-members of Team Authority? Are they going to use some kind of loophole? Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. I'm uploading this video. If you haven't before, hit that like button, which is somewhere down there, and hit that subscribe button somewhere down there. And I will see you all soon, and I look forward to seeing what you all have to write. If you haven't already, like, share, tell your friends, and retweet. Bye!